Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Marta. I come from Norway and I love makeup, and today I'm going to be showing you guys the Glam Shop Glam Resort collection. I will do some swatches of all of the products. We have an eyeshadow palette, we have a face palette, there are 2 contour sticks, and there's a lip oil, and there are 6 cream liners or cream shadows and 1 loose pigment. So I'm going to show you all of that both with swatches, and I did use basically all of the products apart from the liners and the pigment in this look that I created right here. So if you're interested in seeing that, then please keep on watching. First off, I'm just gonna start off by saying it's been a while since my last video. I think it's been more than a month, but it's basically because I got a new puppy and it's been super busy, and in addition to that, we've also been, of course, ending the semester. I work as a teacher, so it's been super busy the last weeks, and the last week of school I also got the puppy. So yeah, we've had some family visiting and finally I have some time. The puppy is settling. His name is Ubi, by the way. He's so cute. And yeah, that's just a small update and an explanation as to where I have been. I hope that I will be able to do a lot more filming during the summer now, so fingers crossed for that. But now I'm just super excited to be showing you guys this collection. And Glam Shop just released a new collection with like pastels and a lot of beautiful shimmers, so I did actually end up placing an order today, because even though I do usually get Glam Shop's PR, it does often take a while, and I just really want to use it for summer because it's such a beautiful summer collection with those amazing shimmers. And yeah, so you can just expect that, and you can also expect me to be trying out the liquid shimmer shadows. And I also have another PR package that I got like a while ago with the what are they called? It's like these glittery things, these ones. So I will probably do a separate video just showcasing a lot of different products that came in that PR, because they just sent me a lot of different stuff that I hadn't been receiving, so there's a lot to be shown. But not for this video though. I will be just getting into the Glam Resort collection, and I'm gonna start off by swatching the face products, then the eyeshadow palette and the lip oil, I think, and then I will just do this look right here and show you, or I will show you how I did it. Let's start with some swatches of the face palette, and we have a highlighter shade. It's more of a blush shade right here, and then there's a big bronzing shade. And these shades look like they're really good for light-skinned people. I feel like that's the same thing with all of their face palettes. So if you have I will just swatch them here. If you have a lighter skin tone, then these might be really nice for you, but I wish that they would maybe just release singles instead, because they do have magnetic palettes, and I do love their face products, but that would make it easier for everyone to like pick and choose what would work for them, and it would just be a little bit more inclusive in my opinion. But their products are really nice, so I'm looking forward to trying this today. So yeah, that is the face palette. They also released these contouring crayons, and they can like be twisted up and down here. I hope you can see it through the plastic there. And there's one that is like lighter, which is this one, and I think that's a perfect shade for me. And then this one is more of a bronzing shade for me, but I think maybe it would work as a contouring pencil for people with maybe light to medium skin tones. And I'm very curious about these, so I will definitely be trying them out in this video. And then I swatched all of these ones, which are cream eyeshadows or eyeliners, and I think you can use these as both. They are very opaque, as you can see here. The lighter one looked a little bit more streaky when I was swatching it, but when it dried down it looks beautiful as well. And the shimmery ones are just so stunning. So I'm just gonna say the names, and I mean, I started with this one, but I think I'll just start here. Loose Blues, Resort, Turnus, Laba, Vulne, and Fairant. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I will try to leave the names down below. But yeah, those are the names. I really like the matte ones, and especially from the shimmers, I prefer this lightest one. But they're all really gorgeous. It just depends on what kind of colors you like. When it comes to these though, I do have to show you how they look after several months. I mean, maybe even, has it been a year maybe? This one was one of the prettiest ones from the last launch. This one is called Too Faced, and they dry down a lot. So if you want these, I'll just show you this one too, you'll have to be aware that they do dry down, and I'm pretty sure if you use some Inglot Duraline or something, it would be perfectly fine again, but you can see that it has shrunk quite a bit from the edges right here. But these are basically waterproof, and they are just super smudge proof. I showed that in the other video where these were launched. I don't remember which collection that was. Was that the nude collection? I'm not sure, but I think these are dried down now, so I will just try to show you how well they stick. Okay, so one of them is maybe not sticking, like the mattes are not sticking the best, but these might not be completely dried down, but you can see the shimmers are still looking perfect. So if you let these dry down properly, they're basically smudge proof and waterproof, but just be aware that they do dry down in the jars. And one of the most exciting parts of this release to me is always, like always when they release something, it's the eyeshadow palette. And I think this is a beautiful neutral palette with like a pop of purple and some more colorful shades. And the shimmers do look fantastic, especially this one. It's just so beautiful. So I'm just gonna put on some music and swatch it and then talk a little bit about the shades afterwards. Okay, that was the whole palette swatched out, and I hate swatching so many shadows on one arm because the last ones always end up looking like this, like super weird. But the palette itself is beautiful. As you can see, it is quite neutral, but with those pops of color over here with the coral and the berry shade, and the shimmers are, as usual, with Glam Shop, really beautiful. Just turning down the lighting a little bit so you can see more of the sparkles. So we have more of a regular gold here that is quite light and sparkly. This one is probably like my favorite shade in the whole palette. Then this one was very underwhelming to me. It is the shade here. It's more like a highlighter kind of to me. And it was just a little bit too wet, so it was a little bit hard in the pan and just very underwhelming. But I really do like this one. It's like a brighter corally orange with a pink to gold shift, and it's just so beautiful and very summery. This one is more of a pinkish mauve red base with a gold shift, and then this one is a beautiful, I would say almost multi-chrome, but I mean it's basically a kind of pink to gold to green, and it's very beautiful. It would make a super stunning smoky look with that matte berry shade. And then this one is more of a deeper version maybe of this one. It's like a bronzy rose gold shade with a gold shift, and yeah, you have some deeper mattes to deepen up any kind of look you would create with these shadows. I do think it's a beautiful palette, although this is maybe like a palette that I wouldn't have picked up by myself if I weren't, like if I didn't get it in PR. I don't think I would have bought it, but now that I have it, I do really enjoy it and I cannot wait to create a look with it. And I'll definitely be using like this one and the berry. I'm just really feeling those kind of shades. Oh, but before I forget, I have to show the last product I got from this collection, and it's this kind of, is it a lip? It's a lip oil, yeah. I have used this a few times and it does have a few sparkles in it, but it's not really that visible on the lips, but it's a very beautiful glossy lip oil. There's also like this loose pigment which looks like a stunning gold with a lot of different colors in the sparkles. It's both pink and green and purple. It's just super pretty. So I'm ready to do my eyeshadow base, and I already applied the About Face. Let me just show you the About Face, what is it called? Primer, Shadow Fix. Yeah, it looks like this and it's quite good, and it does reduce creasing a little bit to me. But Glam Shop sent me a different PR package maybe like a month ago or something, and these two were in that, and I will tell you what they are. Both of these are more like correcting products, and this one is called Camouflage. This one is called something like Peach Color Correcting Concealer, but it also says Spec and Expert, so I don't really know what it's called like that. But this one is more of a peach, as I just said. It's called a peach color corrector, and I use this to correct like the blue parts around my eye. And this one is more of a green, so you can see the difference in the color here, but this one really corrects the redness that I have, whereas this kind of counters the blue. So I have been using these when I want to do my makeup more properly. I have been using them to like color correct around my eye before going in with eyeshadow. This one also has like a sponge on the side, but I don't really use that. I just feel like it's not very sanitary. But maybe... no, I don't think you can remove it. I'm not gonna drag it out of the packaging. But I'm just gonna start with the peachy one. And I don't apply too much. This is just for the redness. And I don't know, I don't usually apply it right there, but I just felt like I had... did I say this counters the redness? This counters the blue. Now I apply it on these areas where I have the most kind of blue color. And I mean, I have a lot of different coloring around my eye. I even look a little bit green right here. And here I won't apply it just because that's where my eyeshadow basically goes. I just mostly want to apply this where my skin will be showing after I apply my eyeshadow, which is where I will like kind of blend the eyeshadow. And this is what I apply. I use my fingers to just dab it into the skin, and I try to not dab it into the skin and kind of blend it out in areas where I didn't apply it or where I don't have the discoloring, because the thing with color correcting is that you obviously just want to use it where you want to color correct. And then I go in with this one, which is the more green one, and I just use my finger in that one too. And I think this is the one that is supposed to like dry down and be waterproof, and I feel like it's very creamy but still quite thin. And I even use this on my nose. I can even do that right now, and this color corrects so well that for me it's like I don't even need to use foundation or concealer or anything after using this on my nose, because I just blend it out and it just kind of conceals all the redness. Because as you can see, I do have a lot of redness here, and this one just helps so much. So I've really been loving this one, and especially like here where I have my eczema, this one just works wonders. And if I'm looking quite red on my cheeks too, which sometimes I do, now I don't have that much, but I do have a little bit, I will also add a very thin layer of this one here. And of course I will be going in with concealer and foundation on top of this, so that will kind of remove the more kind of yellowy tones and stuff that I get. So this is like the difference with only the peach one, and then here we have the more greenish yellowy toned one, and of course my nose with the green one. So once I've used those, I will just go in with the eye base from Glam Shop that I tend to always use. I used to use this one as like the only kind of concealing base, but now when I want something extra I use those two color correctors first. But this one I tend to blend above all of this area where I will blend my eyeshadow. This one does conceal a little bit as well, but it's very thin, which I do like, but I don't apply it right here just because that, like, the more product I use, the more creasing I will get. So that was just probably a bit too long explanation of how I prime my eyes for eye makeup lately, but there it is. So that's how it's looking after all the priming, and now I'm ready to apply eyeshadow. Now for the eyeshadow look, I'm gonna use my Glam Shop 0122 brush with the berry shade, and I mean, it might be a little bit boring, but I kinda just want to use this as like a blended liner, and then go in with that more wet looking shade all over the lid and just make it a more simple glam look. Blends really nicely this far. It's very pigmented. And this purple reminds me a lot of the one in the last collection I think I posted with Glam Shop, the, what was it called, the Golden Era collection. This is blending really nicely. I mean, I think I'll just go in with like a brown for the lower lash line, and then I will use some of the, like the orange shimmer. But first I'm just going to mattify the whole lid now with the lightest shade of the palette. Ooh, that is very light actually. I mean, I think it will be fine once I put on the shimmer because it has a slightly more beige base. And will I use the glam glue? That is the question. Yes, I think I will. Okay, so now I'm going in with the shade Reset. Oh my god, that looks so stunning. And I did see that I picked up a little bit of the base right here with the brush that I was applying the glam glue with. But I think this is gonna cover it. I mean, this is such a simple look, but I just really like looks like this with just a blown out wing. And you could of course do this a lot less, I don't know, winged out than I did, and just like end it right here and it will look a lot more wearable. But I just love shimmers like this. It reminds me a little bit of the one I have in my palette, which is called Immortality, and yeah, it's just really pretty. My new puppy Obi came to say hello. Oh, he's very much a licker. He loves to lick everyone in the face. But he's so cute. For the lower lash line, I will be going in with a little bit of this one and I will blend it into this one, and I will just see if I want to use this or not after having applied the matte. And the brush I'm using is GB13. I just applied the Glam Shop Serum Foundation in, well, it's not called a serum foundation, it's called Face Beautifier Light Coverage Foundation in the shade Natural One. It's a little bit too deep for me, but I'm gonna make it work with a slightly lighter concealer. But first I'm gonna try this contour stick, and I don't know how well this blends out, so it might be a catastrophe. We will see. I don't know how much to apply either, so I'm just gonna use this brush by My Kit Co that I usually use for like bronzer and such. Looks like it's blending in quite nicely, and it feels really nice on the skin too. I'm just gonna see how it applies like to the nose. I usually don't nose contour with cream. I usually just apply a little bit, like I dip my brush into the cream product and then I just apply it very generously as kind of more like a shadow on the sides. Is my nose looking dirty? I feel like in real life it looks good, but on camera I felt like it looked a little bit weird. But that is the contouring shade. I feel like I could have used this other one as more of a bronzing shade, so maybe I'll just try. Whoa, that's a little bit red though. Okay, that is a little bit scary. Okay, so I'm just gonna show you more close up. I really like both the foundation. I have used that before though. But I feel like it gives a very natural look, and I really like how this contour stick is looking. It's the perfect shade for me. And the bronzing one, I mean, it's called contour that too, but I will just call it the bronzing one. I feel like it blended out nicely, even though it looked quite red upon first application. But I really like how this is looking. So I'm just gonna find a concealer that is slightly lighter, because as you can see, maybe, I have a little bit more of a deeper foundation than my neck. So I'm just gonna try to add a little bit of concealer here, and of course where I usually apply it. And I will just say now I'm not going to use the lip oil, because I used it just as I was doing my makeup and I was getting a lot of, like, you know, the white kind of residue you get on the inside of your mouth, and I just cannot stand that. So I'm not going to use the lip oil. I don't recommend it because I hate having that kind of white residue. I'll just find something for my lips. I'll probably use that same shade on the inner corner, and I'll show you the close-up. And that was the close-up of this look, and it is a very simple look, but I really enjoy it. It's such a summer glam look, and the shimmer is just so sparkly and amazing. As usual with Glam Shop though, it's not a surprise, and I really do enjoy this palette. It is not a palette I would have purchased if I did not get it in PR, just because it is very neutral. But I'm not mad to have it, especially like this shimmer. I love the purple matte, and then this shimmer right here is so beautiful. So I'm excited to have this palette, and I'm so thankful to Glam Shop for sending this to me. I just realized that I did not even try this face palette on my face, so maybe I should do that right now. Because I ended up using the, obviously this one that you saw, the contour stick, and then I just used a cream blush from their Pokusa. I think it's called like Temptation collection from last year. But I can just use a little bit of this right now. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with like the bronzer, and the baked products from Glam Shop are often very pigmented, so I need to be a little bit careful. Just need to zoom in a little bit. I'm already so happy with how the face makeup is looking. Yeah, that is very pigmented but beautiful, and it's probably adding some sheen too that I can't see from my angle because it is that shimmery baked formula. So yeah, that is pretty. And I'm just gonna take the same brush because who cares? And I'm gonna use that more blushy shade. I'm already quite blushed now though. I mean, it looks pretty. Nothing super special, but I do really enjoy those baked shimmery products for summer specifically, just because you get that beautiful sheen. So that is very pretty. I already have a highlighter on, and this one is definitely a little bit too dark for me, so I'll just use it as kind of like a transition towards the blush. And I mean, I do love a very blush look for summer too. Yeah, that is the face palette. It's beautiful. It's nothing like super special, but it's very pretty. Just to sum up the other products, I really like this contour stick. I'm so excited to be having it. I just feel like it was the perfect shade for me. I really enjoy that. When it comes to the lip oil though, I really don't like it, just because I did see that white residue in my mouth after using it, which I hate, but I didn't notice that the first time I used it, so maybe I'm wrong and it was something else that caused it. I don't know. Other than that, it did feel really nice on the lips, and it left like a really beautiful shiny finish. And the lipstick I ended up using today is this one. It is called Rosy. And it's a beautiful formula in this one. I feel like they have a few different ones when it comes to their lipsticks, but this one is really nice. It reminds me a lot of the Propa Beauty lipsticks, which are very moisturizing and very comfortable on the lips. And it's a beautiful pink color, and I don't really use pink so much, so I'm glad I do have this because I mean, it looks really nice. And the lip liners from Glam Shop are really good. This one is called, it doesn't really have a name. It says Dim X Glam Shop though. So it's definitely from a collab, but that's what I used for the lips. And all in all, I will say that this is a beautiful collection. You have a lot of beautiful products, like the face palette and the eyeshadow palette. But is the collection something super special or revolutionary? No, not really. It is like a neutral but slightly summery, colorful eyeshadow palette, and I will say the liners are really amazing, but just be aware that they dry. But it's not like super special, but is it beautiful? Yeah, it's very beautiful. So yeah, that is it for this video, I think. If you have any questions, just leave them down below, especially when it comes to what you want to see first. Do you want to see like the like, are you interested in seeing a video on the other products that I have received? Like, it's a bunch of different products that don't really belong to a collection. And I also really would like to do a video on like the liquidation page on Glam Shop's website, because they have so many products that are being discontinued that are under the liquidation tab, and I have a lot of them. And there are a lot of them that I really enjoy. They're like staples in my collection, so I would love to like go through them, and or like go through the page and just show you the products like on camera, and I don't know, just kind of quickly review them or something. Yeah, so just let me know what you want to see, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you have an amazing day. Thank you so much. Bye.